Well, we're back again with the Beauty in Motion Summon Showcase, which is going to be running from the 14th of May till the 27th of May UTC. Our first unit of the showcase, announced almost a week ago, is the 5-star Light Blade Beautician Zardin. His first skill, Ravishing Rainbow, is a laser style attack, dealing 3 hits of light damage to enemies directly ahead, also debuffing their strength and defense by 5%. It grants +1 energy to Zardin and looks absolutely ridiculous. Zardin's second skill, Stunning Visage, grants him Stunning Beauty for 15 seconds and grants him 2 energy. The Stunning Beauty buff means that his normal attacks will inflict stun. Being a blade unit, Beautician Zardin has the Strength co-ability. In terms of other abilities, Beautician Zardin also has Striker's Energy 3, which grants him 3 energy for every 3 enemies defeated with 4 strikes. He also has Poison Resist, and when his hit points are 70% or above, he also gains 35% skill damage. The Striker's Energy ability and the Energize skill set positions Beautician Zardin to completely destroy Shadow Imperial Onslaught. However, due to the fact that an ability slot is being used by Striker's Energy 3, he's left a bit lackluster in content that doesn't have as many enemies. However, being a non-limited light blade unit means that Beautician Zardin might still be welcome in some void battles. For example, the Wandering Shroom fight has many shadow attribute enemies. In terms of other void battles, the upcoming Violet Ghost, as well as the Obsidian Golem and Raging Manticore could see some use for Beautician Zardin due to the fact that he has the Strength co-ability. Furthermore, his skill set has some synergy with the void battle Light Blades, since those have Stunned Punisher. Next up on the showcase, we have another Light Blade, the 4-star Yachiyo. Her first skill, Blossom Flash, fires 2 waves of light damage to enemies ahead in a line, inflicting paralysis. Her second skill, Peerless Heart, grants her Dauntless Spirit, which buffs her next 4 strike with extra damage. Again, being a blade unit, she has the Strength co-ability. In terms of other abilities, her first one is Paralysis equals User Strength, which grants her 15% strength for 10 seconds whenever she inflicts paralysis. She also has Curse Resist and Paralyzed Punisher. The combination of her 2 skills, as well as the 2 abilities revolving around paralysis, means that if an enemy enters Overdrive and she inflicts paralysis on them, her next 4 strikes should be able to absolutely tear apart the Overdrive bar. However, her reliance on the paralysis status ailment means that in a longer fight, she'll become less and less likely to inflict the status ailment. This means that over time, her damage will fall. Curse Resist positions her to sort of be a future contender for High Zodiac. However, due to relying on paralysis as a status element, Yachiyo's damage will end up being very front-loaded in the longer fights. Moving on, we have the 4-star Shadow Bow unit, Norwin. Norwin's first skill, Storybook Ending, is a single jumping shot that inflicts blind. His second skill, Tragic Farce, is a single shot that travels in a straight line and also deals extra damage to blinded enemies. Being a bow unit, Norwin has the Skill Haste co-ability, and in terms of other abilities he has Blindness equals Team Strength, which grants the entire team 10% strength whenever he inflicts blind, as well as Blindness Resist and Blinded Punisher. Norwin might not be too useful at the moment due to shadow units not having much content to tackle, but we could see that remedied with some new void battles. The team strength buff that he provides is very powerful and could potentially activate a couple of times in a light Imperial Onslaught, shortening that fight quite considerably. And for the dragon added in this showcase, we have Takemikazuchi, or however you might pronounce that, I haven't looked too far into it. Takemikazuchi grants 40% strength and 25% overdrive punisher at maximum unbind. His skill, Thunderous Charge, deals damage in a line, you can change direction during the skill, and it also inflicts stun. He has a fairly standard 3-hit attack combo, and his skill seems quite fun, but it might make positioning a bit awkward. However, I could see the skill having some good synergy with any void weapons that have stunned Punisher. And now moving on to everyone's favourite, Wyrmprints. While not strictly part of the Summon Showcase, they were still added at the same time and they're currently featured in the Wyrmprint store. I thought it would be a good idea to touch upon them briefly just so people could make a mildly more informed choice if they choose to maybe trade Outwater for them. First up, we have a 5-star print, Partners in Truth. At maximum unbind, it grants 100% bog res for wind units. At first I considered this might be a good print for High Mercury for characters that don't have bog resist, but I also realised that many players are bringing in Abyss for his damage despite him not having Bog Resist. As far as I know, there's only one unavoidable attack in High Mercury that inflicts Bog. Otherwise, most people are taking the opportunity to equip 2 damage Wyrmprints, since Mercury is a really big, tanky dragon. The next 5-star print we have is After an Eternity, which gives Affliction Guard and 75% paralysis res for shadow units at maximum unbind. It's a bit strange since it's not 100%, so, well, it's not strange at all considering it's a secondary stat for the Wyrmprint, but it's also not great. It's an odd defensive print overall, and I don't really recommend that you would trade for this immediately because it's not even limited. And finally we have a 4-star print, Pipe Down, which grants recovery, potency and skill haste. I think this is good for healers in longer fights, and is very similar to Destiny's Hand, which grants recovery, potency and skill prep. Over the course of a fight, if the skill haste grants you more than an extra cast of a skill over Destiny's Hand, then I could see it being the better print for overall healing throughput. And then in terms of older content that's seeing a rate up in this showcase, we have Lucretia, a 5-star light wand, and Unicorn, a 4-star light dragon that grants a straight hit point bonus. So a decent dragon for light healers. Overall, you know my general gist on these kinds of banners. Since the Adventurers and Dragon aren't limited, then I'll probably stick to using only my daily deal pulls on this showcase. However, if your light team is in need of beefing up since you're new to the game and you want to take on this Resplendent Refrain event, then maybe you could justify pulling on this showcase. However, overall I'm still quite happy with the 2 light blades being added to the permanent pool, since the only other light blade we've seen so far is Halloween Edward, who was a limited unit. As always, thank you very much for watching, and I wish you luck in your upcoming pulls.